Hi, I am Miguel Alonso, a PhD student in the Visual Arts program at University of São Paulo, supervised by Silvia Laurentes, member of the research group Realidades, part of the School of Communications and Arts of University of São Paulo, ECA USP, Brazil, and from GIP in the Arts Institute of Unesp, Brazil. I am artist and technology and arts educator at SESC São Paulo. This work is a result of the master's research Machines and Emotions in Art. By the machines, the intermediaries of technology emerged. By the emotions, the biological and human semantic complexities come up, created a labyrinth for the development of theoretical research. However, it was only the artist's process that brought flexibility to connect the reflections studies in the theories from such different fields of knowledge and resulted in the exhibition A Senhora do Balé. In Brazilian popular culture, the Yoruba word balé refers to cemeteries or to the cult of the dead. The title of the exhibition is related to Yansan, Orisha lady of the winds and storms, and who take cares about the disembodied souls. The Orishas are deities, saints, and gods who relate the force of the nature and the human means, and are present in the Brazilian religion and myths from African matrices, such as Candomblé and Umbanda. The Orishas are the defender of the mind and have their origins in Yoruba people, originally from the Western Africa. The stories, origins, and myths have many meanings for being present in different places, families, and traditions, like in Brazil. Besides Inyansan, the Orisha are approached in the materiality of the work, with the use of iron, for example, and elements of Ogun, Orisha of the technology and metals. These artworks are a metaphysical relationships which approximated machines, graveyards, with the human relationships with their ancestors. This was not anthropological or even a religious research, it was an artistic research. The first work that I highlight here is called Lady, Senhora. It brings the key elements that will structure most of the works in the exhibition, both in meaning and materiality, and the thought of interactivity with the public. This is the construction of an among human skeleton with 4 meters long. In front of this figure is a vase, a alguidar, filled with dendê oil used in the preparation of sacred foods, such as acarajé. The plate reflects 2 lights placed at 45 degrees from the figure. The figure is hung from steel cables. The shadows are projected on the wall. Meanwhile, very close to the vase, a turret lamp in a central position is turned on with its yellow light, being reflected in the copper plate and in the oil. The whole relationship of this work creates an ambience. Even thought at the first glance, it looks like a sculptural piece. However, what few interactors realize is that the light is made by a machine lantern. The proposition of using this light as a pendulum is not so evident. However, those who take the risk of moving the pendulum will be able to observe the different reflections and how the figure itself starts to move. The theme of the exhibition comes from field research, trying to understand robust machines from different places. The work looks at a relation with the artist Jean Tinguely and the relation between machines and the dead, which is very present in his artwork. Here I highlight the work wind and lightning, made from an industrial exhaust fan connected horizontally. The work was thought as a way to cut the light, creating rain effect. The propeller was controlled by a engine connected to a presence sensor, controlled with Arduino board to create variations in the rotation. The sound of this work permeated the entire gallery, and its yellowish light concentrated with the ancestors and the fire. This is perhaps the closest work to technology and arts interfaces. Meanwhile, connecting the exhaust to the floor, we find a brand made with straw, palha da costa, that ties ashes and other elements. This linking of material is intimately connected with traditional elements of the orishas, but highly differently. Here, the work of the Argentine artist Julio Lepac are pointed out. The movement to be observed in a different way, not by gear but the shadows. The relationship between shadows and light, and more than anything, the penumbra, was the element that radically changed the work, as it took away the real weight of the matter, so loaded with use. For all the works were developed in metal, with steel. It is this relationship of materiality that the intrinsic relation with the orishas emerges. For besides being a philosophy particularly close to me, the vision for the elements and their meanings is different from an approach that separates matters from mind. The initial objectives of the proposition were to elaborate an inventory of artists' works that presented machines with anthropomorphical characters, as in the artistic works of artist Alain Paré, and the human relation with tools, and evaluating these tools, their materiality found its different fields of everyday life. The idea of creating machines was synthesized into elements of tools. In this way, the artwork were proposed as being machines in a metaphorical way. They work interactly in a direct way or only through the shadows of the interactor, without using large motors or very complex automatic systems. It was assumed that emotions are imbricated in the levels that the machine can develop. In the possible narratives, considering the faculty of design as the link between human creation and the coexistence with technological devices, as we can see on this artwork, ancestors. They are made with different tools, made in second-hand tool stores and flea markets, and they made structures as humanoid figures, using schemes of presence sensor. White lights were turned on or off, creating countless shadows that blended with those of the audience. These figures were very heavy and tied with steel cables, but the relationship with the light projected on the wall brought lightness, creating sensation that they were no longer there. These were some of works in the exhibition. I tried to point out that interaction was necessary to create a total environment. Visiting the exhibition alone or with a group, this transformed the interaction of lights and shadows, so this is a total different experience. All the works worked independently. However, the exhibition was thought of as only one environment, which integrates sense proper to those who know the secrets of orishas. So there are many valid meanings over there, many secrets. This length of explanation is related to characteristics of the religion's precepts. These relationships can be thought of when we look at a graveyard of machines, or when we simply pick up an old tool from someone we have never met. I would like to thank you everybody, and let's talk. See you.